This is Steve Marion with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, July 11th, 2015. The fire potential impacts for Saturday, July 11th. No significant fire weather impacts are expected into early next week. Showers and thunderstorms will develop across northern and southeastern portions of the Great Basin this afternoon, with the best coverage across western Idaho, northern Nevada, and southeastern Utah. The main threat with these storms will be gusty outflow winds. Gusty winds will develop across western Utah and the southern two-thirds of Nevada today and Sunday afternoon. Relative humidities overall will be trending downwards, with some areas seeing critical fire weather conditions due to the lowering RH levels and gusty southwest winds. Lightning recorded on Friday into Friday evening was generally confined to northern Nevada, eastern Utah, as well as portions of southern Idaho and the central Idaho mountains. The heaviest rainfall amounts through Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time occurred over portions of central Nevada as well as parts of southern Idaho, and more scattered heavier amounts were reported over northeastern Utah. The percent of normal precipitation leading up to Saturday morning over the past 7 days. Much of the Great Basin has received quite a bit of rainfall over the past week. However, some below normal areas were still being recorded over portions of southern Idaho up into the central Idaho mountains, as well as parts of west central Utah and southern Nevada. The fire potential for Saturday. Moist to dry fuel moisture levels are forecast across the geographic area. No significant trigger events are forecast. However, drier and windy conditions are expected over the southern two-thirds of Nevada and to western Utah during the afternoon on Saturday, as the trough of low pressure swings to the northeast through the northern tier of the Great Basin. Max temperatures for Saturday afternoon. Readings will generally be at or below normal levels for this time of the year, and the main threat for wet thunderstorm activity will be over the central Idaho mountains down into southwestern Idaho and far northern Nevada. The National Weather Service threats for Saturday. Flash flood watches are in effect for west central Idaho into northeastern and central Oregon. On Sunday, July 12th, the trough of low pressure will continue to push northeastward through the northwest and the northern tier of the Great Basin. Dry air will continue to work its way into the southern two-thirds of the Great Basin, with a little bit of monsoonal moisture making a return appearance to southeastern Utah and some moisture lingering over the northern tier of the Great Basin. These areas may see generally wet thunderstorms on Sunday afternoon. Gusty winds are again likely over the southern two-thirds of Nevada into western Utah. With the drying that is expected this weekend over the southern Great Basin, fuel moisture dryness levels are expected to move into the very dry category across southern Nevada into southwestern Utah. Max temperatures on Sunday afternoon. Highs will creep a few degrees warmer than Saturday across the southern tier of the region, with readings at or below normal remaining in place over the north. The best chances for thunderstorms will be over the central Idaho mountains on Sunday, with some mixed or dry thunderstorms possibly affecting the rest of Idaho down into far northern Nevada. On Monday, July 13th, with mid-level moisture creeping further to the north into northeastern Utah, as well as portions of central and southern Idaho, scattered thunderstorm activity is expected over these areas, with mainly dry conditions forecast over the majority of Nevada into western Utah. Max temperatures on Monday. Temperatures will remain, generally speaking, at or below normal levels across most of the region, with temperatures warming up a bit further on Monday across portions of northern Utah, as well as southern Nevada. Thunderstorm activity will linger over the northern tier of the Great Basin Monday afternoon into Monday evening. Looking at the overall weather pattern from Tuesday into Friday of next week, some mid-level moisture remain in place early in the week over the eastern half of the Great Basin, leading to scattered thunderstorm activity. As we progress into the rest of the week, an overall drying trend will persist over the western half of the region, and this drying will work its way eastward into the eastern half of the Great Basin. By the middle of the week, southwestern Utah is expected to drop back into the very dry fuel dryness level category, with the driest conditions over the western half of the Great Basin and moist to dry fuel dryness levels expected over the eastern half. The forecast precipitation amounts for today through Monday. The heaviest rainfall is expected over the far northern tier of the Great Basin, with more scattered thunderstorm activity forecast over southwestern Idaho down into northern Nevada. Scattered thunderstorms will linger today through Monday over parts of eastern Utah. Looking at the forecast amounts for Tuesday and Wednesday, scattered precipitation is forecast over the central Idaho mountains down into portions of southern Idaho as well as northeastern Utah. As moisture and thunderstorm activity has spread from the south to north over the past week or so, ERCs across the drier portions of Idaho have diminished with this increased moisture and thunderstorm activity. The 8 to 14 day outlook for July 18th through the 24th, below normal temperature trends are forecast over the northern half of the Great Basin through this time period, with near normal precipitation trends. This concludes the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing. Thanks for listening.